Alrighty, this is going to be a video by Grubus. I'm here to show you how to play Yasuo mid lane. I choose mid lane because the majority of Yasuo's counters are people he has a lot of difficulty against, usually go top lane. He doesn't like to go against bruiser or tanky champions, he likes squishy champions, especially ones without crowd control. So I'm going to show you how to play him mid. So in this one I'm going to be going against a Leblanc. This Leblanc is going to be a 3 out of 5 of difficulty. By mid or late game she shouldn't be hard at all to destroy and shouldn't be any threat towards you at all. But early game you actually have to be evasive. The thing is you're Yasuo, you can dash. So I'm going to be picking up my Dorn's Blade and my single health potion along with my trinket for the side ward. As I'll be going through, you'll notice that because of the laning phase, the passive from the Dorn's Blade is going to give me all the health I'm going to need back as I'm farming. So I won't need to be building any lifesteal items on Yasuo at all. I have absolutely no need for them. You won't need them in mid game, you won't need them in team fights, and you won't need them in the laning phase. I'm going to be going straight for the damage that matters. I'm going to be building the crit that needs to happen. My build that I'm going to be working towards right now is going to be Berserker Greaves, Static Shiv, and an Infinity Edge. Those items combined, I'm going to have 60% additional attack speed to help reduce the cooldown of my Q so I can use it more often. I'm going to have enough movement speed from both the Static Shiv and my Berserker Greaves to keep going, to get my flow up as fast as I can so I can constantly have a shield ready to go. I'll also have a 90% crit chance because of my passive doubling all my crit, and I'll be doing roughly 270% additional damage because of my crits. Between the runes that I have listed in this guide, which are all crit damage runes, not crit chance, but crit damage, I'll have that crit damage and the Infinity Edge's additional crit damage together to make it so that all my low attack damage that people think is really low and I should build more lifesteal items, it's not going to matter. My crit chance is what it is. It's going to hit like a truck, and you're going to see why here pretty soon. So, we're going to be following me. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Using LL Recorder, so sorry I couldn't do this live. I just like having the replay feature. Alright, here we are in mid lane, going against the Leblanc. You can use your Steel Tempest or your Q to instantly interrupt one of your basic attacks, so you can do the stutter stepping technique and continue to farm extremely efficiently. Farming with Yasuo I think is actually pretty easy once you've mastered how to do it, especially when you hit level 2 and you gain your dash. You should always put your first ability into your Q and your second ability into your dash. And I just hit level 2 before she did, and I don't know exactly why. But as you see, I could dash towards her, and I hit her with my Q, and then she tried to hit me back and my shield absorbed it all. So I'm going to keep moving, because the more I move and the more I dash, the more I get my flow back up so her pokes won't affect me. Now, I kept trying to engage near her turret and my shield was down. That was dumb. Don't do that. I was just getting really ballsy. She was really squishy, and if someone's trying to play aggressive against a Yasuo, I like to play aggressive back to show them that I can actually hurt, even at early levels. This is the weakest part of his game, so you shouldn't really be focused on team fights. You need to farm. But you can still have really good dueling potential when you're 1v1ing. So, I keep moving around to make sure my flow is back up before I even get near LeBlanc, because she is ranged and I am not. So I'm using my dash to actually finish off some of these minions, as you will notice. If I think that she's going to toss an ability on me, I will usually toss my wall in front of me so I can continue farming without being interrupted by any of her abilities. And whenever my tornado is up and I don't have my ult, and even if my ult is up, I would use my tornado and just toss it just to poke them down. She's below half and is popping potions. I have only used one potion so far. My shield has kept me up to this point. Now at this point, she nearly kills me. I was completely stunned, she totally had me, I got ignited, and then blasted by her Q, I get away, because I kept running. Now, I didn't stop to recall or anything, I wanted to make sure my shield was up, and I was like, yeah, while I'm at it, I'm just going to run all the way back to base. So I did. And she didn't like that, she said that in all chat, just a little frowny face. But now that I was back at base, I went back and I picked up boots and additional health potions. I actually have more than one this time. So now I'm going to last in lane a lot longer, because I have more movement speed, so I can keep my shield up longer. And my health potions are going to help me continue on. So Leblanc is what she is. She's extremely good at juking people, both with her passive clones and also with her displacement ability that allows her to teleport. That's her W. The enemy jungler was a Broloff. Yes, Broloff, I have to specify. He He wasn't that good, but he definitely showed up at the right times. I made a mockery of him later. I basically shut him down so he was extremely far behind the rest of the team and couldn't do anything. Now you see I poked LeBlanc. Oop, right there. I continued farming, but I used my dashes to do so, which made it extremely hard for her to dash onto me and do additional damage. So your dashes will help you farm and dodge their incoming attacks as quickly as possible. I recommend that you keep dashing and get used to dashing as you farm, but do not dash when you're extremely close to an enemy turret or extremely close to an enemy champion that can easily stun you. That's bad. You will get shut down really quick. So only dash when it's safe. Sometimes you're just going to have to hold off and let a minion die, because it's just going to get you killed if you try to get that one minion. So, I needlessly tossed up my wall there. I thought she was going to be slightly more aggressive than that. But my tornado's up, my shield's up. What am I going to do? I ward that bush, I just continue to poke. Now notice that I'm not level 6, but I went in there as if I was, so it scared her away. She poked me back, and it did hurt, but I definitely pushed her out of the lane, and I'm gaining lane dominance right now. She's too squishy to do anything back without me turning around and doing the same back to her, so she's playing as cautiously as I'm trying to play. But we're both trying to play aggressive to compete for the lane dominance. Now Berloff comes back, and I'm just like, well, crud. I popped one of my potions, and my shield just blocked her Q, doing almost no damage to me at all. You saw how little that was. My shield currently absorbs 85 damage right now, and as I level, it'll keep continuing, and it gets really ridiculous. So she tried to initiate on me there, and that failed because her entire rotation went down before she got me to 2 bars of health, and I knew I was going to win that trade because she was at like 1/8 health when she engaged, and I was like, that was stupid. So I kept popping my potions, and I kept getting my shield back up. Now here you'll see that my flow isn't quite up right there. It should be. If someone just came out of the jungle right now, like an Olaf, I don't know, maybe to my right, that would have been bad if my shield wasn't up. So I tossed a tornado at him and dashed through him to get out of the way. And you'll notice that his lightning, as it hit me, only did about 50 damage to me, and my shield absorbed like 80 of it. So I took almost no damage from that poke. So if you keep your potions going in your inventory until roughly 18 minutes in the game, and you keep moving around with that kind of flow build up, you're going to have no problems with pokes. You honestly do not need sustain from lifesteal. You also might have noticed right there that my wall, I'm going to go back and play that real quick. Here we go. My wall, I tossed it up as she tossed her ability at me. It blocked. That's how quick you have to be with your fingers. Even if the ability is on your person, if you toss that wall, it will block the next ability. So keep that in mind. Your wall is extremely effective. You can only cast it at max range, but if they cast that ability outside of max range of your wall cast, you should be able to block it. So keep that in mind. Quick fingers are really good for playing Yasuo. I don't recommend playing him if you don't have quick reflexes or bad ping issues, just so you know. I'll be heading top lane at this part because the enemy Yasuo and the enemy Olaf are trying to gank Teemo. He got away safely, and they were super low and the bushes were warded. So, boom, dash to the Yasuo and killed him. Dash to the Olaf, minions OP. They helped me kill him there. That was just dumb. Your dash does do damage without ability power, and it was enough to kill both of them. So they were just in a horrible situation, and I had wards so I could see them. Notice LeBlanc engaged me, and I thought I could kill her right there, but I forgot how much burst she had. And with that ignite, there was no way I would have gotten out of there alive. So she got me there. She won that trade. But I'm not complaining. That was my first death, and I got 2 free kills out of it, so it's whatever. So it's at roughly 10 minutes in the game, and at roughly 10 minutes you should have 60 to 70 minion kills or CS, but I do not at this time because you can see how many times I've had to avoid ganks and how much I've been harassed by LeBlanc. And also because of the amount of kills I've been getting. I'm 3-1 right now at about 10 minutes in. Let's go back to where she just attacked me with that ability. She came up, we're going to put this at half speed. She's going to toss her chain, it will land. It activated my shield and did no damage. I tossed up my wall and blocked her future incoming attacks. The only thing that hit me was the activate of her stun, which got rid of the rest of my shield and took a small amount of damage away. I minimized the damage by putting up a wall, and that made it so her pokes were virtually useless against me. My tornado's up. I'm way too low to even consider using my ult on her, so I just pop some potions, run around and get my shield back up. And right now I just need to continue farming aggressively. I dodged her chain once again by dashing right next to her and attacking her, so it scared her, got her out of the way, and I didn't get hit by one of her pokes. My potions are still running and my shield is already back up. I do not need sustain from lifesteal. I can't push that enough. A lot of people think it's absolutely necessary. You don't need it. You need to get the damage you need so you can shut down your opponent before they can shut you down. And you can achieve this by 17 to 20 minutes, getting the perfect build. So right now I currently have the Berserker Greaves completed, and I also have a Zeal which I will be building into my Static Shiv. Now with these two items, I now have roughly 30% additional attack speed, 20% additional crit, and a crazy ton of movement speed for this level. Now I instantly killed that Caitlyn, and Caitlyn's are extremely easy to kill on Yasuo, especially late game. Now I should have used my ult right here to kill her, but I didn't. But it's okay because I knew my limitations right there. Dash towards her, Q basic attack, boom, she's dead. Too much damage, she couldn't handle it. And I don't even have a full static shiv yet. So mid lane champions are definitely what Yasuo prefers because he's able to kill them extremely quickly even when his build is incomplete. So as I'm playing, I just keep farming. I'm using my tornado to poke. I dash if I have to. But the Olaf was too close and under his turret. I didn't dare dash towards him to actually go dive him. So I waited for him. I had to move around. You have to get your shield back up. Make sure you keep moving. Keep moving with Yasuo. He needs to have his shield up. If you do that, you will take so little damage, especially late game. At level 16 to 18, your shield will absorb 500 to 690 damage. Your shield is super powerful. If you keep that shield up, you will have no problems, especially in teamfights late game. Now, I tossed my wall up in the right spot, but she does have her teleportation, and that still hurt me a lot. Now, I wouldn't recommend going back to base unless you don't have health potions left and you're below half. If you're above half and you have potions left, stay in lane, keep farming. If you have to farm passively, do so. But you should be in the laning phase, be in the lane during the laning phase as much as possible so you can get that farm you need to get the items you need by 20 minutes or less. Now, I am 5-1 by this point. I did kill Leblanc, I did kill that Caitlyn, and I got 2 free kills in the bush up top against Olaf and Yasuo. So, I am currently 5-1, and I have 65 CS by 12 minutes, roughly 13 minutes. That's not bad for that time, having that much CS. It's not my best, though. I definitely had more time that I was focusing on roaming and killing in other lanes, and also just ganking within my own lane. So, my farm didn't do so hot. As you'll see right there, you'll see that I was using my dash to continue with my last hitting. I was actually finishing off a minion with my dash. I have, by this point, already put 3 points into my dash, and all 5 of my points are in my Q already. So, my dash is already doing a good amount of damage. I headed bot lane because I saw that there was a good gank going on down there, and I saved bot lane, I killed Olaf. Probably should have focused the Caitlyn, but hey, a free Leona is a free Leona. I decided to ult to Caitlyn. I did way too much damage to her, but I was too close to being under her turret. Our Draven decided to go balls deep, and he decided to dive her to the biggest extent. LeBlanc got in for the kill, and she was smart about it, and she juked me the hardest LeBlanc can juke, and she was on the other side of the map by the time she killed the Poppy, so that was good for her. And you see Draven just died. He dived that turret way too hard, and LeBlanc capitalized on it. So she was a good LeBlanc. She knew how to play this champ. She knew how to take advantage of the situation. But the poor thing, though, she got transmogrified by a Lulu, and that was it for her. I knew which one was the real one. Dashed towards her, instantly killed her. I have a full static shiv now, and you'll see that that burst is extremely useful. Now against this Olaf, I had to cast my tornado during that fight in order to kill him. When you get your 3rd stack on your Q, you have to toss your tornado, and that's not just one click. You can't just click Q and it goes. You have to click Q and then click again to cast the tornado once you decide the direction. So that was nimble fingers there killing that Olaf. If I didn't cast that, I would have died despite the shields and help that Lulu was giving me. Now lucky me, I did dodge that stun from the Leona. I don't believe she would have been able to kill me, but the less damage you take, the better. I do have red and blue buff, and I'd like to keep that. My shield is up, and I did pop health potions. I'm 9-1, and net 92 CS at roughly 15 minutes. Let's rewind that just a little bit. Here we go. You'll see that the Caitlyn and the Leona decide to come back and try to gank me as I'm continuing my farming process, which you should keep doing until you have the Infinity Edge. They saw me, I dodged, I took the last of their minions, and I ran through their jungle. And I was being chased by Leblanc, Leona, and Caitlyn, and I was like, that should work. I did not expect an Olaf to show up out of nowhere. So I was like, well, this is it, I can't escape, I have to fight to the death. Now, I did kill the Olaf, but the LeBlanc did pick up a 500 shutdown kill. So, that was too bad. That was a 4v1. I'm not complaining. I'm already really fed. I'm 10-2-1 at 95 CS, and if you look right now, you'll see that 95 is higher than all 10 players. So, I'm not dissatisfied. I have the most kills and the most farm. I am fed. So, while I was at the base, I did pick up an agility cloak and also a BF sword. That is half of my Infinity Edge already. You're going to see my damage is going to significantly increase, and once the Infinity Edge is completely done, you're going to see that my damage is phenomenal. I find the LeBlanc, basic attack, Q, basic attack, instantly dead. She had no chance. I received 1 bar of damage. Despite her burst and her mobility, I had no problems with it. I go back, I continue farming my lane, and I start to push their turret. As I was pushing it, the enemy Yasuo was coming around the corner, and though I had more levels than him and more of a build than he did, he only had the static shiv. He didn't even have boots. I had a static shiv, boots, and half of my Infinity Edge by now, and 2 levels on him. I could have taken him, but I was not going to risk it under his turret. And your shield does not block turret damage, so keep that in mind. If you get hit by a turret, you better run. Your shield's not going to save you. Or your wall, by the way. So I pop some more health potions. I still have red and blue. I'm heading down. I do believe we're going to go take Dragon at this point, and you'll see how much damage I'm doing. You see the numbers coming out? 300, 280, 280, 280. Like, I'm hitting fast and I'm hitting hard. We take the Dragon without a problem, and we are out of there, and I'm ready to kill some people. We see, like, almost the entire team is right below me. I toss this at him, I ult him, realize it was a dumb idea, I dash, and I flash out of the way, toss a wall to make sure nothing can be tossed at me, and I run to regain my flow before I try to capitalize on the Leona who wants to dive us. She gets hit a few times, I dive on her, insta-death. That's how much damage you do, and I don't even have the Infinity Edge at this point. I instantly killed that Leona. That was ridiculous. Now watch as this fight continues on. Poppy picked up the kill on her. I dashed, did an AoE spin, killed her. Found LeBlanc, dashed through her clone, didn't know it was her clone, and I let her go because it's too risky to dive that turret. So I continued picking up the rest of the farm, and Timo and I will go pick up the turret. I've tossed up my wall just in time to block her chain. I go by, I dive her like an idiot. She used her dash and killed me. Though, Draven did pick up the kill and got me the assist on a shutdown, so I'm completely okay with that. Just skip ahead a little bit. Alright, it is complete. I have now built the Static Shiv and the Infinity Edge and the Berserker Greaves. I am at full core build. It is 19 minutes in the game. I have 115 CS, which could be higher, but I'm 13-3-2, so I'm not complaining. I've already started building a Mama Mortius to make sure that LeBlanc cannot hurt me in the future. As the fight goes on, I do stupid damage to all who I find. Dash through her, and my Static Shiv jumped off of the Caitlyn and killed her, and then I instantly killed the Caitlyn immediately after. Despite all the damage that was tossed at me, they could not kill me, and I don't have a lick of sustain. I found LeBlanc's clone, and I was attempting to chase her, and I saw her heading out towards Baron Nashor. I was like, oh great, she's going to teleport through the wall, so I went to go cut her off. I did not see that she was recalling right there. Sneaky little juker, you. Yep, so I walked around aimlessly for like the next few minutes trying to find her like an idiot, but it didn't work out, and I was like, you know what, I should probably just start farming again. I shouldn't be behind. So I find the enemy Yasuo top lane. Team and I worked together on this guy, and the team ends up picking up the kill because of his poison. So I was like, I'm not going to take his farm, I better find my own. So I start heading back down mid lane, and I'm going to be finding the enemy Caitlyn and the enemy LeBlanc, who will be stationed down there. I think they saw me coming because of a ward. I toss my wall, I block all the pokes they were going to put on me, and I'm running away from LeBlanc. She chains me and maintains vision, and I see her, I was like, fine, I'm going to kill her. I instantly did that much damage and instantly killed her. And then Caitlyn picked up the kill with her high amount of damage. Now that's not going to happen in the future. That was just luck on her part, that I was bursted down low enough for it to actually kill me. The rest of the game, Caitlyn is going to be humiliated by me. But if you saw how much damage that was a Q, a basic attack, and a Q, and I instantly killed the Leblanc. I have insane damage. Whoever tells you need a Blade of the Ruined King to do damage is lying to you. I found the enemy Yasuo. Boom, boom, boom. Insta-dead. Used my ult in Leona, and started chasing down the Olaf, and I don't believe we caught him. Smart one. Our Draven didn't capitalize on that at all. He did not stop him, he did not like displace him, and that would have been awesome if he did, but he didn't. So we dealt with it. I tossed a wall just in case they wanted to come out of that bush. It's the best way to face check, just in case they want to blow all of their cooldowns onto your wall. That's fine. Now I saw this LeBlanc and I was just like, oh, easy pickings. And I was like, no, she's baiting. I'm not going to deal with that. So I'm like, I'm done with trying to get behind. I don't want to risk my life anymore. I'm going to continue farming. So I start heading through the enemy jungle and I continue to farm as much as I can. At 23 minutes in, I'm here with 18 kills. I'm 18 and 4. I had the Static Shiv, Infinity Edge, Berserker Greaves, and I'm building a Maw of Mortius. And it's pretty much all built. To be completely honest, I shouldn't have been building the Maw of Mortius at that time. I should have been building like a Random's Omen. So as you can see how much damage I did to her, but I couldn't chase her because of how many people were there behind her. Now watch the damage I do for the rest of this fight. I missed a lot of my Qs, which would have killed her by then, but it's okay because she was bad at placing her traps and I was able to dodge them easily. I just do one dash, swipe, insta-death. You do super damage with just those two items, Static Shiv, Infinity Edge. I did have Mama Mortis, but it was unnecessary to kill that Caitlyn. She was too squishy. So Yasuo is exceptionally good at taking out the enemy carriers before they can react. It is ridiculous. They're more trying to dodge you than they are trying to kill you. They can't kill you. You kill them too fast. Between your wall and your shield, they can't land enough burst to actually kill you. If they have no crowd control, a Yasuo dominates against any carry that isn't tanky. So hyper carries, they'd be a problem. But even then, late game, you should still not have any problems. Now I'm roaming around. I was considering taking out Baron, but I didn't want to at the time. I realized that the majority of our team wasn't close enough to really do it. So I continued farming. So it's team fight time. Now Draven had a knock-up ability. I saw the enemy Yasuo charge in, and I instantly Q, basic attack, dash Q, and he died. He just had absolutely no chance. Now I want to take a moment here to talk about what he's building here. The enemy Yasuo has a Static Shiv and Berserker Greaves, good for him. He has a Cloak of Agility, which he is going to be building into an Infinity Edge, but he got a longsword. For what? A Vampiric Scepter. He's planning on building Lifesteal. He was not going to finish the Infinity Edge before the end of this game, which crippled his damage. You see how much damage I'm doing. I only needed 2 items to do it. Any item past that is just, it's murder. You can see I'm hitting every minion for 500 to 600 damage. That's an extra item worth of damage. I can easily do 450 to 550 when I have just the Infinity Edge and Static Shiv. So because he wasn't finishing the Infinity Edge, the enemy Yasuo was going to have a lot of problems. As you can see here, he already started building the Vampiric Scepter, which he will start to convert into the Blade of the Ruined King, which is a very popular item that I've seen a lot of people play on Yasuo. The problem with it is that he didn't build it as his 4th item or after. If you don't build correctly, you will fail on Yasuo. I'm not talking correct items, I'm talking correct build order. You need the Berserker Greaves, the Static Shiv, and the Infinity Edge. You better have the Berserker Greaves and Static Shiv before the Infinity Edge is complete. And by the time the Infinity Edge is complete, then you may start to build situationally. If you have a lot of problems with the enemy team's attack damage, build armor, build health. If you got a lot of magic resist problems, build more magic resist. I was able to pick up a kill in that fight, but there were just too many people, too much crowd control, and I didn't really have a team to back me up during that fight. In fact, the team was so bad at backing each other up that the enemy team got an ace out of it, which was unfortunate. But in the end game, did not finish us off, so we are okay. They also took out a turret in the meantime. Alright, I came back down, my Mama Mortis is complete, and I am beginning to build a Zephyr, which I'm actually near completed with already, a pickaxe and a stinger. Each time I come back to base, I have a ton of money, because I keep farming and I keep killing. The team fights at 20 minutes and on, you should be worried about how successful your team fights are if you don't already have a core build. I saw the enemy Caitlyn go through the woods, and I figured I might as well cut her off through Baron. I found her. Instantly annihilated her, but my AoE triggered the Baron Nasher, so I'm just like, well, crud. I ran away, I was like, well, we're all here, screw it, let's go take Baron. And we did, quite quickly. As you can see how fast I'm hitting him and how hard I'm hitting him for. 300, 350. Right now it's doing 200 because I got debuffed by him. I was taking a lot of damage, but I was able to easily take it because my team was nearby. So Yasuo was an amazing initiator, and you should take advantage of it. As long as the enemy team is in heavy crowd control, you should take advantage of his initiating capabilities. Now go back to base, and I complete my Zephyr. I have a Static Shiv, a Zephyr, a Mama Mortis, and an Infinity Edge, and I just bought Tier 3 Alarcity boots for my Berserker Greaves. So now I'm running really fast. My movement speed is currently at 468. The Zephyr gives 10% additional movement speed, the Static gives 6, and I have Tier 3 Berserker Greaves boots. I'm moving like the wind, which is getting my flow up extraordinarily fast. I recommend the Zephyr. The Zephyr is an amazing item on Yasuo. It gives him the attack speed he needs to reduce his cooldown on his Q. This poor Yasuo. The enemy Yasuo really didn't know what he was doing. I considered him really inexperienced, and he was also building incorrectly. He also probably had a poor matchup too. That was probably another one of the problems. I dodged that Caitlyn chop like a boss, and I continued to farm. I let them go. I didn't want to chase them anymore. I only wanted to chase them when I knew my team was nearby. I back off because I know I can't take turret damage. We blew up its turret, and I let Draven take the Leona kill. Alright, I continued farming and continued on. I was about to die of that. I could have done it, but I decided to get my flow back before trying to any sort of crazy initiation. Poppy pushed them back for me so Draven and I could focus the turret, which we instantly took out. I dashed through and killed that Leblanc before the stun actually activated on me. Let's watch that one more time. Gonna break through the turret. Leblanc shows up. She chains me. I dash through her, Q, basic attack, Q, as the stun lands. She died quick. You know what I don't have? I don't have lifesteal. I didn't take a lick of damage from that high bursty champion. It was beautiful. So right now I'm 26, 5, and 6. I have 190 CS at 29 minutes, which isn't bad, but considering my kills, I simply do not care. Now here's something that was dumb. Do not, under any circumstances, dive 3 or 4 champions under their twin towers. It's a dumb idea. You may do high damage, but they got enough crowd control and damage to not care. So, just keep that in mind. You're not invincible. It may feel like that at some points of the game, but you're not. You're really squishy until you have absolutely tanky items at the end of the game. And I sped it up there. I don't like waiting on people for resurrect here. We have super minions pushing down mid lane, and we're going to be making the final push for the end of the game. That Yasuo had to... He wasn't AFK, but I'm pretty sure he just clicked too far ahead and was not paying attention to where he was currently at. He was just looking at the minimap. So he reacted too late, and we instantly killed him. And if you look at the enemy Yasuo... I'm going to go back a few seconds here. The enemy Yasuo, he had Static Shiv, Bilgewater Cutlass, and 2 daggers, and a Cloak of Agility. So he stopped halfway with his Infinity Edge, and he has 70% crit chance, and he was building a Ruined King. He is 0 and 11 and 6 and 124 CS. I'm at 190 CS with 27.66, and I have every item I need except for my final item. My final item was going to be a Randowin's Omen, but I never got to build it. To be completely honest, I should have built the Randowin's Omen before the Mama Mortis, so I would have been able to withstand the amount of attack damage on the enemy team. But that was my fault. It worked out in the end, but you should build situationally. Once you get your Infinity Edge and everything else that's in your core build, you need to build situational items to counter your enemy team. But this enemy Yasuo was not smart. He's interrupted his Infinity Edge, which I thought was not a good idea, and he was starting to build a Ruined King for that sustain that clearly didn't serve him well in the long run. So, I don't believe it's a good idea. Alright, this last part, this team fight starts to get really messy. In fact, everyone on both teams decides to die, roughly. Our Poppy doesn't care, she's helping us initiate. The Leona came out to stun, but only to her own death. She was in the middle of all 5 of us. So we started taking out her turret, their turret, and I tossed up my wall so I could take that turret without a problem. Dived the Caitlyn, instantly killed her. Ran for my life, tossed a tornado so they couldn't find me, got my flow back up, and I reinitiated. I see the enemy Yasuo, I follow him, I kill him, I go back for the Leblanc, and our team has already taken out the Nexus. And that's how I play Yasuo Mid. You'll see at the very end here, I was 36-8 with an absolute full build except for my Randuin's Omen with 204 CS, which was more CS than the entire 10 players that were on the game. Focus on CS, and the kill should come naturally. And that is it. I will link the picture of the endgame lobby for you after this. I'll see you guys later.